Nabi and Rashid, the spin twins, will be looking to take advantage of this dry surface this evening. And then you've got three specialist seam bowlers, Bhuvanesh Kumar, who's a master of swing, and also Sandeep. And my favourite, I think, in this team, Natarajan, absolutely special death bowling.
Well, it is too. I'm just going to mention one player, Harbhajan Singh. 699 days since he last played a professional cricket match. Right, let's have a look at a few of these guys who are going to catch our attention this evening. The excitement around David Warner continues because he continues to be the high level of player that he is. Bhuvi is back. That is fantastic news for Sunrisers. So unfair on him to be out injured for so much of last season, but in good nick for India of late. And Rashid Khan, perhaps the most sought after T20 player in the world, capable of turning a match on his own. England's white ball captain Owen Morgan, now full-time leader of the KKR side. Dre Russ, the new hair colouring there tonight, that it's the same powerful figure that has something of genius in him when he takes sides apart with bat or ball. This guy, keep an eye out for him, Varun Chakravarti, who impressed with his various mysteries in the IPL in the UAE. So yes, they're just 6 of the players that we're going to keep our eye on this evening. Moments to go. We can't wait. And just to finish on that, Harbhajan Singh, a guy you know so well. He last played, right, in the final of the IPL 2 years ago for Chennai Super Kings. Hasn't played professional games since. Great to see him back though, isn't it?
Fantastic player, absolutely. And he's going to be pivotal tonight as well, Mark, because he knows this surface really well. He actually had a very good close to 2019 season, so very important. And lots will be made of him, I'm sure, during this IPL.
Well, I think spin's going to play a huge part in the game. KKR have gone with 3 spinners, a couple of top-class spinners for Sunrisers. I'm slightly surprised that David Warner's chosen not to take first innings. To bowl first. I feel the pitch won't get any easier. Is that fair?
It looks a lot drier than what we got the other day, which is just 2 tracks to the right, actually. And I also feel, Mark and Matthew, it's how captains use the spinners. Sometimes they tend to use them in the power play, which is fine, but also given the situation and given the batsman, I feel it's going to be important, because Rashid and Nabi, both of them are very crafty. Harbhajan Singh has said after 699 days you could be anybody, but the nervousness, just the energy of coming back into competitive fold, that's going to be interesting how he goes. No Sunil Narayan, he's been a trump card for KKR, so they've gone without him. So it'll be interesting. Varun Chakravarti again coming back after an injury. He hasn't played. So it's just wonderful to watch all these guys. So yeah, absolutely, spin is going to play a pivotal role today.
Nitish Rana is out there with Shubman Gill, 2 brilliant young players. Shubman Gill got a lot of attention in the matches that he played in the winter with his wonderful stroke play. Nice upright player, elegant player to watch. And Nitish Rana, well, he can crush it when he's on. Strike rate of 136. Interesting to see how they start. The facts are that they were the least good side in the power play with the bat in 2020 in the UAE, and Sunrisers Hyderabad were the 2nd best side with the ball. So, you know, if you're going on what we saw in the UAE, you'd say that in this first power play, Sunrisers should hold an edge. So the fascination is will KKR change their approach?
It's match number 3. It's match number 3 of the vivo England Premier League 2021. It's time for the countdown. Let's begin. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're ready to rock here in Chennai. Bhuvanesh Kumar will bowl the first ball to Nitish Rana, who thumps it through mid-off for 4. You can't get a better start than that. Well, you can. You could hit for 6.
You can get in for 6. But that'll do, Mark, for sure. What a terrific way to open up your innings here. Very dangerous player indeed. He's overpitched a little bit on this occasion, reaching for the ball. No real footwork, but does manage just to hang in there with his bat. Thrashes it through the line of the ball and it goes sweetly to the boundary.
Yeah, he would have been surprised because Bhuvaneshwar Kumar generally doesn't give those kind of offerings. So that's one of the reasons why there was no foot movement. That's generally what Bhuvi does more often than not.
Well, I think on this dry surface, it's going to be really important for Bhuvanesh Kumar not to give the stumps away. It's got to be stump to stump. It's got to be hitting a good length on that as well. He's known for that. He also is known to swing the ball, but as we know in the IPL, it doesn't tend to swing a great deal, so you've got to be crashing into the top of off stump.
See those nice outswingers Chris Wokes bowled last night. Didn't he bowl nicely? Didn't Prithvi Shaw bat well?
Yeah, it was a heck of a game, wasn't it, really? Really good game, high
For
quality.
Delhi Capitals, I mean, they really had a good night, didn't they? Chennai maybe missed the odd beat, but it was an interesting match for sure. Bhuvi again beats him with one that just nips a little off the seam.
Traditionally, though, it's always eluded us why the ball hasn't swung as much as what it does in one-day cricket. And T20 cricket, just through the IPL, traditionally, hasn't really shaped a great deal.
I think I would say the same even for the ODIs, Hedos, because you look at this new Kookaburra ball which is used in white ball cricket everywhere. It does swing the odd over. If it gets thumped, then it stops swinging. Not like it used to a while ago, a few years ago. The ball used to swing prodigiously. Now you've got two new balls in one-day cricket. They don't swing too much. And even in white ball cricket, we saw Chris Wokes swinging it a bit, not for too long.
Well, you can't tell me that Bhuvanesh Kumar doesn't present a nice seam, because he does. It's bolt upright. Pretty much every delivery, unless it's an off-pace delivery. So he gives it every chance. But tonight he's going to have to be careful just to be straight at those stumps.
I think KN, the umpire's saying... what is he saying? What is he saying? He and Johnny Bairstow have had a bit of a disagreement. Pretty good at the death. If you're always picking up wickets at the death, you're slowing your side down, getting new batsmen in. That's not to be underestimated, the ability to take wickets. He asks, they say no. Warner comes charging in as part of the appeal, doesn't want to review it. End of the first over, 4 for none.
Brings us to the end of the first over. First over, Kolkata Knight Riders, 4 for none.
এগুলো কি? এটাও পচা, এটাও পচা। তোকে তো ঠকাই দিছে। নে,
কে যেন কয়দিন পর পর ঠকে?
আমি অসম্ভব।
ইন্টারনেট কেনে কিন্তু বোনাস পায় না। ডাউনলোড মাইবিএল অ্যাপ, মুহূর্তেই আরো বেশি বোনাস।
মাইবিএল অ্যাপে ইন্টারনেট প্যাক কিনলেই মুহূর্তেই আরো বেশি বোনাস। বাংলা লিংক।
Another wicket taker at the top of the order, Sandeep Sharma. Just to spend a bit more time on that stat about the power plays. Sunrisers Hyderabad were very good with the ball last year, just conceding 7.5 and over, taking 26 wickets in the power play, whereas Kolkata really struggled with the bat. They were bottom of the list, scoring just 7, a tad over 7 and over. Anyway, here's Sandeep. And Shubman Gill with the footwork, and he's telling you he wants to get closer to the ball. On a slow pitch, he wants to get nearer the ball.
And they play for the same state, so he knows quite a bit about what Sandeep Sharma does. He swings the ball, but this was the last ball of the previous over. Was it pitching outside the leg stump? That would have been the only question. It was by a big margin.
See more of that though, bowling stump to stump. When you get under pressure, you want to start scoring across the line of the ball.
When Bhuvi appeals like that, he turns from sort of delightful boy to demonic man, doesn't he? That appeal is not really asking, it's telling.
That's called white line fever, Mark, and there's been multiple fast bowlers over the years that have fallen victim to that disease.
Oh, Hedos, I can't imagine who you're talking about.
Very interesting discussion just the last over around this field placing. Now, I often used to have this field set against me, especially against England. Used to have someone very straight in my eye line. Didn't particularly bother me, I've got to say, but there he is. What's the problem here? There's been a little discussion between the umpire. I think a captain has got every right to put a man wherever he wants as long as he's not doing anything untowards the wicket. So I'm not sure what the rules of that.
Well, I suppose the umpire was saying you're in the running path of the non-striker, but he just has to move wider. You can put your fielders exactly where you want. Well, you can't have more than two behind. Oh, got lucky. That's nothing more than a slog. When it comes off, it looks amazing. When it doesn't, the ball goes 180 degrees from where it was meant to go.
Yeah, indeed. The only positive part of that was the movement towards the ball from Yudhisthana. It goes at the ball. On slow wickets, it's really important to get momentum going into the ball. If you do remain in your crease and try and hack across the line playing that same stroke, it's very hard to time. So,
Haydos, I think they're showing us that they're conscious of a relatively slow scoring rate in the power play last year already. Shubman Gill was the highest scorer for KKR in last year's tournament, but that doesn't mean that he necessarily found his straps immediately every innings.
yeah, you do pick up on these things in discussions around the batting unit. You look at what's been going in the past. Nitin Menon, a very good umpire. But I think more than anything, you have to play your circumstances as well. You have to realise when you come to this track that the first 6 overs are important. You do need to create a little bit of momentum early up in the innings.
Oh, what a lovely, lovely shot that is. That's all he needs to do. He's got so much talent. He doesn't need to wipe across the line. He can swing freely through it.
One thing's for sure. Both these opening bowlers swing the ball and they haven't found any. They're looking for it, they're searching for it, and they haven't found any. So if it comes straight and at that pace, beautiful shot, beautiful swing of that bat.
And Haydos just leaned across to me and said width. Isn't it, Haydos? That's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I said it before to Bhuvanesh Kumar as well. It's got to be stump to stump. And that's really a free shot. That's just offering a player to play that kind of stroke.
Oh. 2 gone, 13 for no wicket.
And that brings us to the end of 2 overs. Kolkata Knight Riders 13 for 1.
চোখের কি দেয় ভিতরে অস্বস্তি নেন ইনো chop of action.
If you just joined us, the toss won by David Warner, and he put KKR into bat. He didn't really have clear reasons. He said he didn't think the dew would play a part in the game. We're not so sure about that. Pitch looks very dry, and it's hard to be sure what a competitive first innings score is. Anyway, it's Shubman Gill on strike here to Bhuvi, and that's a glorious stroke. We saw a few of those in an Indian shirt. Now we're seeing it in the purple of KKR.
He's such a flowing batsman. And that is what is so telling about his shot making. Balance, poise, and impeccable timing. No swing on offer again. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar trying to be as straight as possible. Just did so well to find that gap.
Well, the power play is on. Let's see how rewarding it is for the players tonight. But a reminder how rewarding it can be for you too. If you've got credit card bills to pay them fire the cred at during the cred power play and get to win perhaps 100% cash back. So that's handy. Really handy.
That was an interesting graphic in the last over of Bhuvneshwar Kumar and how he gets his wickets in the power play and then in the dead. It's so interesting because right during the ODIs. Oh, that's just been chipped.
Oh, no, he didn't read it. Whoa, on his heels, I think.
Oh, I just can't believe that. Unbelievable stuff, isn't it?
Samad. Under Samad it was, and he's on his heels, isn't he?
Well, he just got caught off guard. Genuine leg cutter, just held up. You can see that's a great indication, actually, of this wicket and what we're talking about with the dryness of the wicket and how slow it is, but deserved a wicket and didn't get it.
We're going to see an awful lot of that tonight, that sort of delivery, aren't we? But it's going to be a stock bull.
Again, Haidas, we were talking about the dryness of the surface. I think we need to have a closer look at that ball. I think it's got a bit of a cut or a chip. You can see some, yep, look at that, leather coming off.
Yeah, that makes a difference because someone like Natarajan, for example, is superb exploiter of the reverse swinging delivery as well. It'll be handy at the end.
No, good run. Good run. Talking about Bhuvi's record and when he takes his wickets and the percentage at the end of the innings, but the Upstocks Crick Index tells us that he's up there in the history of the IPL. Sandeep Sharma, 92 innings. This one, of course, uncompleted, 53 wickets. Zahir Khan, great bowler in all formats of the game, 99 innings, took 52 wickets. And Bhuvi just a tad behind them, played a few more games. But so he and Sandeep take wickets early on, fact. 19 for no wicket.
Just 6 runs from that over. 3 overs are popular. Night Riders going great.
ঠান্ডা বা গরম কিছু খেলে দাঁতে যে শিরশিরে অনুভূতি হয় সেটাই দাঁতের সেনসিটিভিটি। দ্রুত সমাধান না করলে এটি আরও গুরুতর হতে পারে। ডেন্টিস্টরা সেন্সোডাইন ব্যবহারের পরামর্শ দেন।
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the few times I've ever seen Sandeep when he hasn't swung the ball. Right? It's a humid evening. Good firm strike over extra cover. A very good firm strike over extra cover.
And really telegraphed it as well. Sandeep Sharma, it was a knuckle ball. And he had so much time here. It's trying to look at that floating down on him, but he set himself up and then he waited. Just shoveled it over the top. Good stroke. Slow wicket. It's a tough shot to play on a slow wicket. It can be highly critical. It was probably just the line, just too wide. If it was a little bit straighter, it would have been a much effective ball.
All these big shots are being played off a hindered width. You just can't offer it tonight. That might be the best shot of all of them.
I suppose the way they played against Sandeep Sharma, as a captain, you would be tempted to ask the keeper to come up to the stumps because they have taken a couple of steps down the track. They're trying to counter the swing, which he hasn't found any. So as a captain and as a bowler, I think Riddhiman Saha capable enough to come up to the stumps.
Look, I think that's a great call. You know I used to get that happen a lot, keepers coming up, because he used to love to walk and create that momentum as we were talking about earlier, and Riddhiman Saha can do it. And it gets the batsman thinking straight away, I've got to stay in my crease. You're not prepared to take that risk.
That is really clever. This is a brilliant beginning. Bit of everything, and Sandeep's lack of pace, and the fact that because he hasn't got a lot of pace, his slower ball isn't as difficult to judge. is really playing here. Warner must have wondered when the moment would come that one opposition would say, we're not going to let this guy bowl.
Yeah, and on this occasion, it's not the worst ball, right? That's really premeditated, and the shot was executed very well. The others were just straight out wide deliveries, too much width on offer. That was just a very good cricket shot.
Yeah, probably a pre-med. He will have reckoned on Sandeep not bowling with any width again. So it's good batting.
It's a lovely little setup of play here now. Inside, what's a good score inside these power plays? I think more than a good score, it's more important not to lose a lot of wickets.
And I think we've seen that in the last two games. I think something which Mahendra Singh Dhoni alluded to as well, that the first half an hour to 45 minutes, the pitch did play up a little bit. We saw that the other day. The first 4-5 overs, the going was tough. They lost a couple of wickets. Then I think 71 or 91 runs in the next 9 overs. So it's that passage, the first 45 minutes, where, as you said, don't lose wickets.
Yeah, it's certainly a fine line, isn't it? Because the word don't do something tends to mean you start doing it more. But point taken and well made. You can't have all of your wickets up front getting lost.
All gone, it's 33 for no wicket.
What a fantastic over that one.
এই কি হচ্ছে সব এখানে
তাজা উপাদানের আসল স্বাদে স্কোয়ারের রুচি সস সবই মজা লাগেছে।
.33 without loss. Natarajan, they need this change. Big time. Given that Sandeep has disappeared. Oh, sweet airs. Let's have a maximum early. A little unacademy one. Shiv.
Hi, Danny. What a welcome. Unacademy cracking 6. The fantastic player, Shubman Gill. Just the 7 deliveries before that. And look at that. He loved it. Super way to greet a bowler into the attack. Probably in the slot for Natarajan.
Yeah, they are looking rather immaculate, these two. Do look good together. Shubman Gill, that's a Sharana. Silky smooth. Interesting, he can't pick up the ball.
Don't be rotty. Say hello to Lisa.
Aramso. Evening, Stellas. Good to see you.
Evening, gentlemen. Evening, everyone.
Well, we've come across a couple of strips. So, might turn a bit here, Shiv. Lisa? Dorothy?
Well, certainly, Kolkata Knight Riders have had a great start. Nitish Rana, he's only opening for the 6th time for KKR. And of the 3 times, he's actually scored over a half-century. So maybe this right-left-hand combination is just what KKR need. Their opening partnerships has been something that they've failed, especially last season. Maybe they've found the perfect pair.
Good comeback. Really good comeback from Natarajan. Be interesting to see Harbhajan later in the evening. Definitely enjoy this pitch. There's no dew. Played for Chennai Super Kings. He's played here before.
Bold. Close down the angles. I say it most nights, love a lefty. They're batting or bowling. Something unique and different. Yeah, when you just think about guys opening the innings and making a difference. Rana, when he's opened, last season this is, 81, then 0, 87, then 0. So he's hit or miss. Either gets them big or misses out when he's opened the innings for KKR. Rana, that is. More bottom hand. Inside the power play, here's 4 more.
Sometimes when a player comes up and bats within the first 6, most players that wield the willow want to, because it's only 2 fielders outside the inner circle, so they can take more risks. Yet not out of the middle of the bat, but that's fine. As long as it clears the inner circle, he is going to get value for his shot.
Now, speaking of value, Dream 11 top fantasy pitch of the match. So excited. That's one. He gets it. So dozen off the 5th. It's 45 without loss here.
Over there for KKR, 12 runs of it. Right now 5 overs up, KKR on 45 for none.
কি অবস্থা আসাদ ভাই?
এই আর কি, কাস্টমার কম আপা।
কাস্টমার কম, দেখি কি করা যায়।
অর্ডার আসবে তো?
ফুল স্পিডে
ওপরা স্পিড টেস্টে আবারও বাংলা লিংক দেশের ফাস্টেস্ট মোবাইল নেটওয়ার্ক ফুল স্পিড 4G তে
সব বেশি ফুল স্পিডে।
The President is Nawi. Such a go-to guy in this fabulous format. Gives you so much. Often bowls the first over of a match inside the power play. Certainly bowls in power plays. There's one to go in this one. Here in match 3, season 14. Look at that economy. That's the one that sticks out. And of course he picks up valuable wickets at crucial moments in T20.
Problem is that he only gets a handful of games in the IPL because Rashid Khan is the first pick spinner. Last year he only played the 1 match. You would think, given that we're playing in Chennai, slower deck is going to suit the spinners, that Sunrisers Hyderabad may turn to him a little bit more.
This left-hand, right-hand combo opening. So a little bit of Rana early. Intriguing.
Just about got to be slow through the air and backward leg. Don't provide any pace for the batsman.
Ah, lovely, lovely. Gigi's improvising nicely here. There's Rana tonight.
The issue is for Nabi, he hasn't got any protection out on the offside on the boundary, so he's got to go straight. This is too straight. And Nishish Rana just uses the pace for Nabi and gets it fine enough. Clever batting.
He's keen to show us the full array. Is Rana.
Fielder's inside the ring on the offside, so he wants to clear them. Nicely bowled, slow through the air.
Yeah, 50 up for KKR. It's Dream 11 top fantasy picks of the match. They've got it so often in the whole year. So these are the most popular picks fans are relying on. Big performance, get those fantasy points in. How many are you going to get in your team? Pick carefully amongst the kilo. Orange Army. Well, since 16 rather, when they made that final and won it, they've made them all. They've made all the playoffs. So, good groove. Of course, Tom Moody, he was head coach for a while. Now it's Trevor Bayliss, but the big fella, Moods, all 6'8" of him, he's back. Director of cricket for SRH.
There's a few more players now within the offside just to protect that area.
No run there. We've had the power play done and dusted. 50 without loss.
6 overs are gone for the Night Riders, reaching the 5th.
저기 기다리고 오셨지. 네, chop of action.
Here goes coming up for Shubman Gill and Nitish Rana for that fantastic partnership. Who will have that off? KKR! 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 The next over, the Afghan sensation, Rashid Khan.
Rashid Khan. Yeah. It's going about your stocks. Oof. He's up there. It's going to be fascinating, particularly up against Rana, who really is wanting to take everyone on.
Oh, Rashid Khan, you're not surprised to see him bowl in this phase of the match. Always comes in straight away after the power play, and last edition of the IPL he picked up the most wickets in this middle over period, and his economy rate was under 6, so that's impressive. You can always go to him. He probably did the holding role for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Teams don't want to hit him.
Very good running. Although Gill was on the back foot, he took off. Have to repeat strike with the left-right combination. As Rashid Khan is looking to settle into a spell, which might be 2 overs.
Oh, yeah, get back in your box, says Rashid Khan. Watch him.
Given the fact that these two have started so well, I mean, a run out at any stage of the match is never wanted, but KKR only got one 50-run partnership last season in the opening pair. And they've been able to do it in the first game this edition. So KKR opening with Nitish Rana, it seems to be working.
I think the roles given is for Nitish Rana to go after the bowling and Shubman Gill to anchor the innings.
Well, as we know, in these COVID times, all about a bit of health and safety for the fans. It's paramount. It's a #1 priority here from all of us with the Vivo IPL. Encourage you to celebrate in a safe and respectful manner. Cheer loudly from home. The opportunity arises, get vaccinated. Oh, there's the first one. And guess who? From Afghanistan. It's Rashid Khan.
Well, you can't go after Khan. He is very, very, very good with the googly, very accurate, very deceptive, nicely tossed up.
এই কি হচ্ছে সব এখানে
তাজা উপাদানের আসল স্বাদে স্কোয়ারের রুচি সস সবই মজা লাগে যে।
It's so hard to halt as Rashid Khan. He gets people out. He's also so economical. Time for a bit of Tripati. At the middle. For 7 overs. And the opening stand is broken here. Much to the delight of Sunrisers fans. You sit back on your favourite lounger at home, cheering it on. Warner and Williamson. Of course, Williamson took the reins back in 2018. Warner with a little bit of a suspension happening. So we've got some good, sensible, experienced fellows.
Well, Shubman Gill, he did pick the wrong end, but it was slower. It was the slowest delivery that Rashid Khan had bowled that over, 91 kilometres an hour. That's what got him. Clever bowling. Brains trust really there, isn't it? Sunrisers Hyderabad. It's good for David Warner. I mean, Kane Williamson, we know what he does as a leader for New Zealand. Rahul Tripathi, I think everyone was expecting him to potentially open the batting. And he has done that for KKR as well. Good!
Tries a catch it for a split second. We've all been interested to see how this surface goes as opposed to the other one a couple of nights ago. Shiv, local.
Very, very slow. Can't hit the ball on the up, hitting the top part of the bat. You've got to grind your way, hit the gaps, look to take up the twos.
Yes, well, that power play is paramount. Have to dine out, and that ball is probably going to skid on at its most.
Well, he picked the googly, that's why he went leg side. And as you can see what Lisa mentioned, the bat had gone through, and then the ball arrives much later. So deception in the air.
Oh, heck! Another unacademy cracking six for sure. Looking at our Comrock's position here, didn't think he got all of it. He did answer.
Don't need to get all of it. Courageous bowler. Could have flied, and he's got the distance. The batsman, he's just arrived at the crease, and that's...
Ladies and gents, there's a bit of deft touch as well. I'll tell you what, that Rashid Khan, in all T20 cricket, only one bowler has dismissed batsmen bowled more than Rashid Khan, and Rashid Khan ain't been around that long. Guess who? Hits the stumps more than Rashid.
Someone who bowls a Yorker.
Gunslinger. Yeah, Lasith Malinga. Oof. Yeah, like the Yorker too. Oh, beauty. What a great way to finish. 8 done, 64 for 1.
Brings us to the end of the over. 11 runs to win KKR.
ওকলা স্পিড টেস্ট অ্যাওয়ার্ডের স্বীকৃতিতে বাংলা লিংক আবারও দেশের ফাস্টেস্ট মোবাইল নেটওয়ার্ক। বাংলা লিংকে এক্সপিরিয়েন্স করুন ফুল স্পিড 4G।
The Knight Riders. Love the balance of both these sides, actually. And playing in these conditions, spinners. Oh, he's given it! He's gone upstairs straight away, so let's just check if there's a bit of wood involved.
Player review, LBW. Original position is out. It is a fair delivery. Front on spin, thanks. Thank you. Nice and slow. Running through. Just roll it back. Close to the back. We just go to Ultra just to see if there's any bet on that. No problem. Thank you. Running through. Keep going, keep going. There you go. Thank you. Bet on ball with spike. I'll go back on ground, thanks. AP, he has hit it. Sorry, we need to change your decision to not out. You're on screen.
Yeah, the inside edge saved him. Otherwise, that was headed towards the stumps. Especially if you get hit off a full toss. It's always against you. It's such a defining phase of the innings. Matthew Hayden alongside as well.
Kartik, been a really fascinating little phase, hasn't it? This powerful wham bam and thank you man up front for the first 5, and then all of a sudden spin starting to weave its magic on this track. Slowness of it starting to be revealed. It's got some teeth as well. Rashid Khan bowling lots of variations, in particular the wrong, and that got the dismissal. Yeah, very interesting phase of play now.
They've got so many options. Vijay Shankar can bowl, Abdul Samad can bowl. It'll be interesting to see if Sandeep Sharma is used in the middle overs as well, because if the ball's not swinging, will he be effective in the end? With Rashid Khan, anything can happen. Look at that, 1.2 overs when the opposition is going great guns. Comes in, provides the breakthrough, and starts putting those seeds of doubt in the batsman's mind.
I love that initiative by Rana, taking on Sunday. He was worried about the swing factor. Now he nulled that, didn't he?
Couldn't get enough timing on it. Again, a free-flowing player, Rahul Tripathi. A group of lucky fans enjoying the match from the comfort of their homes on the Vivo fan wall.
We're talking about Rashid Khan going through his gears. Vivo fan wall, look at them go through their gears. Operating nicely at this stage. Had a nice meal, they're watching the cricket, they've got their friends and family around them. And most importantly, they're staying safe.
Slogged away. And will that find the gap? Brilliant fielding. Vijay Shankar out there in the deep, long on, flinging himself to his right. That is sensational. 5 runs off that 9th over. KKR 69 for 1.
Almond, কিসমিস আর পাপরিকার এক্সাইটিং ব্লেন্ডে রুচি প্রিমিয়াম মিক্স চানাচুর, নিউ টেস্ট অফ দ্য টাউন।
I'm really excited to play against them again.
That's a really good hit.
They got a good side, quite balanced. Our attitude will remain our strength.
This will be his century. What a beautiful delivery.
Top order with the seam and getting into the spin will be a big thing for us.
Nothing is impossible. Pretty confident that we're going to win.
That's the ones that you want. And then when they did try and adjust, they went.
There's another one, give him!
I'm really excited to play against them again.
That's a really good hit.
They got a good side, quite balanced. Our attitude will remain our strength.
This will be his century. What a beautiful delivery.
Top order with the seam and getting into the spin will be a big thing for us.
Nothing is impossible. Pretty confident that we're gonna win.
Saved Nitish Rana and had to correct it. And that's where first 9 overs have gone. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar yet again, so canny, none for 10 of his 2 overs, went for a boundary of the very first ball, but that's why he's so good. Sandeep expensive today, none for 23, no swing on offer for him. Natarajan, 12 of his first over. Nabi, bowled the 6th over, none for 16 for him. And Rashid Khan, the wily Rashid Khan, 1 for 8 of his 2 overs. There are 50 runs in the power play. The worst team in terms of batting in the power play last year, or in the last edition of the IPL. KKR definitely trying to change that. That's the end of the entire strategic timeout.
Boys, in a very interesting stage of the match now. Still got lots of batting to come as well. 1,000 runs in the IPL for Rahul Tripathi. He's looking good here as well tonight. Got a strike rate of 171.
Vijay Shankar into the attack. And I think with Rahul Tripathi, it's a clear mandate in his own head. He's just a free-flowing batsman. He just likes to take the initiative, tries to play shots, doesn't mind getting out. He plays for the team, and that's how it goes.
I think that's a great way to play, but it also has to be calculated. And on this sort of wicket in particular, now the side is off to a very good start, you do have to put some importance on your own wicket as well and play the general percentages on a slow wicket. So in other words, if he's looking to get width, or it's an off-pace delivery that you can whack away, then go for it. But generally playing smart and sensible through this phase of play is still key for Calcutta Right Riders.
Yeah, that's been helped on its way. Too short. And Rahul Tripathi definitely relishes playing that shot.
Well, Mr. Shankar, that pace, my word, not a lot of margin for error here. Oh, he just sits up and says, hit me, please. It's like it hasn't gone back into the terraces.
And fine leg up as well, so it's really a free hit. You've got a very square, deep mid-wicket, but I agree, that was a real hit-me ball. And that's what I mean. You don't have to go necessarily searching for runs if it's on offer from a bad piece of bowling.
Yeah, that was smart. Saw him moving. And again, that comes back to the same point we were talking about, Hedas. Can Riddhiman Saha come up to the stumps? Vijay Shankar, not the quickest. Remember, you've played with a couple of them, Gavin Larson, Scott Styris. They're so good, the wicket to wicket, the keeper up, the batsman can't take the charge, so you're forced to play within your own cell. So possibly Riddhiman Saha and David Warner can do that.
Hey, Mr. Memory, eh? Look at you, Carters. Nice. Reeling into the encyclopedia those years. Spot on.
Slapped away. Danny Arm from that time as well. So I do remember all those players.
You're from that same barber as well. What a barber shop. Yeah, the width on offer, as you say, Hados, there you go. You can just wait for the ball. Bad balls, no, they're on offer.
Yeah, and I think the way that domestic Indian players on these slow wickets, they're so used to playing through the line out as Australians or Kiwis or generally speaking, all the sort of overseas player. It can be hard to play on the up, with width, but not the local boys. Really cut their teeth on the width. And there's been plenty of it on display tonight. 96 kilometres an hour as well. It's really the pace of a spin bowler in many ways.
Fascinating to hear seeing subcontinent players, guys that create their own width. But we perhaps down under might think, well, that's not that wide. Oh, don't worry, that's wide enough. Oof.
Oh, that's the shorter side, and that's gone a very long way. 12th IPL 50 for Nitish Rana, 4th as an opener, and end of 10, it's 83 for 1 KKR.
Giochi che dai per giusti. Nen, Ino, chop on action.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining innings from Nitish Rana from the get-go. He was off the gates. Pretty good start. Halfway mark for KKR, 83 for 1. Sets up a great foundation. Natarajan.
Well, you remember these sort of milestones, don't you, when you're batting 50 runs, and this was a cracker, this. Nitish Rana, 12th IPL 50. 4th in 6 games as an opener, and you don't get a better way to bring up that. And yep, they're all appreciating a very fine effort there. KKR, I'm not sure what that symbol is, but it certainly didn't mean I'm playing through the gap, because he's played very square with a lot of offerings with width.
Well, as we like to do in the Vivo IPL, sideline and talk to the coaches over a season. Trevor Bayliss alongside. Trevor, lovely to see you back in orange. First and foremost, Tom Moody, good to see him back too.
Yeah, he's spent a lot of time here with the Orange Army. And it's good to work with him. The first time I've actually worked with him, so it's a good partnership so far.
Bales, it's Haydos. What's your thoughts on the bowling efforts tonight, mate? A little bit of width on offer. You think that's going to cost you in the end?
Well, so far, we've been a little bit wide, and I don't think our lengths have been terribly great. We've got a couple of swing bowlers up front, so obviously they want to try and get the ball to swing early. But there wasn't a lot of swing, so we've got to react a little bit quicker and get the ball in that hard length, which we haven't done so far.
Trevor, Karthik here, you mentioned swing, and sometimes when you guys are warming up, it's a great indication of whether the ball is swinging. Did you get any, or the bowlers got any? Because both those swing bowlers found nothing at all.
Well, we didn't actually talk about it from after the practice this morning, or before the match. But the simple fact is we've got to react a little bit quicker than that. If it's not actually doing anything, we've got to revert to, as I said, that hard length and fairly straight on this wicket. And we've erred on both sides. A little bit full, a little bit short, but too wide as well.
Have you got a good score that you're looking at here, Bales?
No, never sort of take too much notice of the first inning score. It's obviously whatever they get, we've got to play well and obviously get those runs.
That's brilliant from Natarajan following Nitish Rana. Thanks for your time, Trevor. We'll catch you soon.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lovely addition to the IPL, getting access inside the change rooms, getting a little understanding around what sort of things get spoken about. one of the nuances of the IPL is, for mine, that escapes me always, is why that ball does not swing. It's amazing how it doesn't swing.
Helped on its way, and Nitish Rana is on absolute fire. Such a good over, but ends up being expensive. 92 for 1 after 11.
এগুলো কি? এটাও পচা, এটাও পচা। তোকে তো ঠকাই দিছে, নে।
কে যেন কয়দিন পর পর ঠকে?
আমি। অসম্ভব।
ইন্টারনেট কেনে কিন্তু বোনাস পায় না। ডাউনলোড মাইবিএল অ্যাপ, মুহূর্তেই আরো বেশি বোনাস।
মাইবিএল অ্যাপে ইন্টারনেট প্যাক কিনলেই মুহূর্তেই আরো বেশি বোনাস। বাংলা লিংক।
As well as the captain cursing you.
And such a brilliant start. Nitish Rana 57 or 40. This partnership already worth 39, and just look at that batting order. Morgan to come, Dinesh Karthik to come, Shakib Al Hassan, his all-round ability and that destructive power of Andre Russell. Pat Cummins and Harbhajan too can hit the long ball. It's a great position for KKR at the moment. You mentioned the ball doesn't swing. It does. I think you need to ask the manufacturers why it doesn't. It hasn't swung for a few years now.
That's because a few batters got involved at Kookaburra and decided that that's it, flattening the seam.
Yeah, a bit of hands in the ruck, Danny. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're a Kiwi. It is a mystery because it's a beautiful thing to watch a genuine swing bowler come into play.
Swept away, and that's in the gap.
What a shot this is. Talk about the slowness of the wicket and the presence of mind here to just let the ball come in. Nabi gets a bit straight here. It swings away. It beats that man up. Backward square.
Yeah. Tripathi striking at 166.7 at the moment. The contender for the Safari super striker of the match. But what about this man, Nitish Rana?
Yeah, it's been magnificent, hasn't it? Real poise at the crease. Very similar, whether it be along the ground or over the top through extra cover. Swatted it away nicely. That was my favourite to bring up his 50. That was a beautiful shot. And that symbol we've got question marks over, but he's been magnificent this evening.
That's a short side. Also with the wind. Hundreds up for KKR in pretty good time.
Well, what a way to bring up 100 along with the 50 partnership. Lisa Stalaker said this at the toss today, that they'll be targeting that short side of the ground, just 60 metres, with a bit of breeze as well, and certainly that was assisted. It's carried down from Marina Beach. The breeze heavily blowing in that direction.
Get your boards out, Haydos. Sounded so good, didn't it? Came off the willow. Beautiful pinging sound, and he got it right out of the sweet spot.
Yeah, absolute cracker, wasn't it? Makes that beautiful sound, that pop. Watches it all the way, just in delight.
Another expensive over, 12 runs so far. Tried to close it out nicely. Yorker, quick one. 105 for 1.
13 runs of that over.
এই কি হচ্ছে সব? এখানে
তাজা উপাদানের আসল স্বাদে স্কয়ারের রুচি সস সবই মজা লাগে যে।
Remarkable figures again from Rashid Khan. We say it so often about him. He's into his third over now. 5 dot balls and 1 for 9. Putting something of a break on things, though I have to say, I think this is a outstanding first half of the innings. You know, we figured 150 would be a pretty good score on the surface. So the surface has played fine. I mean, the ball is a little low and slow, but I think it is one of those that might play a little better than it looks. Shiva's climbing in. Lisa's already here. He's had little moments of luck, has Nidish Rana. There have been moments there where he's swung hard and looked a little like Ishan Kishan, who's in such good nick. But he's an exciting striker of a cricket ball.
Yeah, but he's got to come up against Rashid Khan. We've already spoken about his figures and what he does in the middle overs. So the ball's staying a little bit low there as well.
Aha, the cred jackpot that we've all been waiting for. Get on the cred app for this daily reward.
Have to wait for this big moment. Playing to win. And it's an interesting contest going on here.
It's kind of a flat hit. It's not really where he meant it, but even with the bat unusually horizontal, or nearer horizontal than vertical for sure, he's got it straight for 4. Plenty of power there.
Had he looked to play it with a straight bat, he'd hold out to long off.
I just wanted to focus on, he slaps down, but look how long he keeps his head down. He's not actually looking for the ball.
And he must feel... But the line was outside Austin. Lisa, so flat batting was the way to go if you wanted to hit it to the side screen. Had he played with the straight bat, he would have hit it straight to long off. Clever.
It just seems to be something a little bit different to what he's done in the past. So I think he's working to hit the ball straight over the bowler's head. But keeping your eyes down at point of impact is really important. 114 for 1.
এই চোখের কি দায় ভেতরে অস্বস্তি নেন ইনো ঝটপট অ্যাকশন
.53 for the first wicket. It's because Bhuvaneshwar Kumar usually strikes early. Didn't happen.
Sandeep back into the attack. 2 overs for 23. You've heard the guys talk a lot about the ball not swinging. And I must say, I think in the UAE he swung it every game when it was new. This will be a question of changing his pace cleverly enough to deceive these two, but because he doesn't bowl at any great pace to start with, he has to be cleverer about it than most. He's got all the cutters. The one that he drags down, it's the leg cutter, dragging his fingers across the ball to the left, is perhaps the most effective of them. Harbhajan back, hasn't played a professional match for 699 days, not since the 2019 final when he played for Chennai. There she is, the legendary SUV that has ruled the roads with the performance and luxurious comfort, the Safari. Six overs left after this one, so a very real chance of a score of about 180, which would be tremendous performance. That's six, don't worry about that. Gone hard and flat, and hammers into that boundary hoarding. It's a short boundary that side, and it's being worked well by these guys.
Gets underneath the ball. Looking for the Yorker. Goes deep in the crease, gets underneath the ball, and the intention was to hit it in the air.
Yeah, the big improvement since a couple of misfires early in the innings has been how he's staying down into the shot, keeping his eye on the ball for a little longer.
That type of shot is a bit of a coach killer, isn't it? If he hadn't premeditated it. And this is the previous delivery. Yeah, low full toss. Smashes it into the LED screens. It is a free hit.
They have these power hitting sessions and they practice all kinds of shots. Wonderful contribution. Tishrana, 72, strike rate of 153. The Sunrisers have depth in the batting department. It's going to be a very, very interesting chase. 12 and over, 198.
Nearly called for two because he picked the gap, and they don't even have to hurry. It's perfectly placed. There's a really good rhythm to this partnership. Already worth more than 70. 14 overs gone, 100.
ওকলা স্পিড টেস্ট অ্যাওয়ার্ডের স্বীকৃতিতে বাংলা লিংক আবারও দেশের ফাস্টেস্ট মোবাইল নেটওয়ার্ক বাংলা লিংকে এক্সপিরিয়েন্স করুন ফুল স্পিড 4G
To Seat Tyres strategic timer.
I'm really excited to play against them again.
That's a really good hit. They got a good side, quite balanced.
Our attitude will remain our strength.
This will be his century. What a beautiful delivery.
Top order with the seam and getting into the spin will be a big thing for us.
Nothing is impossible. Pretty confident that we're going to win.
Let either Bhuvaneshwar Kumar or
There's another one.
I'm really excited to play against them again.
That's a really good hit.
They got a good side, quite balanced.
Our attitude will remain our strength.
This will be his century. What a beautiful delivery.
Top order with the seam and getting into the spin will be a big thing for us.
Nothing is impossible. Pretty confident that we're going to win.
Yeah, but it was given not out as well. Tishrana, he did get something on it. And since then, these two have just gone about their business nicely. Again, building another solid platform. There's a celebration. We'll figure out what it is at some point.
he's talking about another googly. He has used the googly to tremendous effect, hasn't he? I mean, perhaps better than anybody. Mushtaq used to bowl a great googly and use it a lot. His seemed to take a lot of wickets, didn't visibly there, but he must bowl 2 or 3 and over, would you say, Shiva?
Certainly does. Because if he gets to bowl against the left-handers, he does that. He got Shubman Gill with the googly, and he's been economical. You can see there. Rashid 3 overs, 1 for 17. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar started well, but Sandeep has gone for a few problems there. Apart from Rashid, none of the other bowlers have taken wickets.
And that completes the Siat's strategic timeout. 126 for 1, 6 overs of the innings left. 10 and over from here gives KKR 186. That would be an excellent performance. I think 8 and over at 174 is pretty good first innings total. So the field now set as it tends to be in this later stage when they're going to look to bowl mainly full. Third man and backward pointer up. That's a fabulous shot again, just crushed. He just waited, there was just a little lag, a little delay before the bat came down and timed the ball sweet as you like.
Had to play a really good shot. There was width on offer, but was the slow delivery at 119 Ks. So the batsman, Nitish Rana, had to generate all the power there.
He really did get a lot of power. It's his highest IPL score, by the way. 76 now from 48 balls.
The 200 certainly on if Rana bats till the end. Tripathi is going at a good rate. Strike rates of both the batsmen very good and meant to come. Lisa, dangerous. You don't want to be a bowler now.
No, you don't. But also, no doubt, Baz McCullum and Owen Morgan are discussing who comes in next. So it could be Russell Arnold potentially. Not Russell Arnold. Why am I saying him?
Andre.
Sounded
really good. It's gone to Ana Jarod. Rahul Tripathi this time, his second six. They're dealing in boundaries, 13 fours and 7 sixes.
Yeah, again, it's that short side, isn't it? They're getting the length that they want. No doubt they would have had the discussion during the strategic timeout. They've got to go hard. They've still got so many wickets left in the shed.
'84 now, the partnership. Which tells you that it's pretty even. 45 of it to Tripathi and 40 to Nitish Rana. Oh, that's a beauty. This is lovely stuff. It's classy. It's clever. And Tripathi is catching Nitish Rana up, whose highest score incidentally is 87, so he is closing in on it. But Tripathi is playing a fine hand here.
Yeah, you can see the leg cutter there, slower delivery. Tripathi is almost guessing and is inside the bowler's mind, knows exactly what he's trying to bowl and is able to execute perfectly.
Well, that's a skill, and I don't think we see enough of it. I think the Yorker in a situation like this, gun barrel straight, that might have even just tailed in a bit, is still a great ball.
I think 100% confidence is lacking in most bowlers. Because if you get it wrong by a few inches, could be over-pitched or a full toss.
Oh, that's 50. That time with a bit of luck. But again, too wide, and that's been an ongoing problem for the Sunrisers Hyderabad through this innings. Great joy amongst his teammates. He's a popular character. It's 145 for 1.
ঠান্ডা বা গরম কিছু খেলে দাঁতে যে শিরশিরে অনুভূতি হয় সেটাই দাঁতের সেন্সিটিভিটি। দ্রুত সমাধান না করলে এটি আরও গুরুতর হতে পারে। ডেন্টিস্টরা সেন্সোডাইন ব্যবহারের পরামর্শ দেন, কারণ সেন্সোডাইন দাঁতের সেন্সিটিভিটি থেকে আরাম দেয়।
But he's also shown that he's got the skills to open up the face of the bat and get it very fine. Excellent innings from Tripathi. Very good strike rate too.
I think we know who they'll send in next. big West Indian fella, because they've got a real chance of 200 now. This has been such a well conceived and executed innings. They had a plan first up, and they've gone hard, and they've gone well. Well, they're coming thick and fast. IPL's on the back of each other, just 5 months since the last one finished in the UAE, and we've got underway with a thriller here on the first night, a couple of nights back, last ball game. Then we saw some brilliant cricket from Delhi Capitals last night. Today, KKR going against Sunrisers, and then tomorrow night in Mumbai, Rajasthan Royals, led by Sanju Samson this year for the first time, and Punjab Kings, with KL Rahul in form after 100 against England of late. Should be fun. All right, underneath it, wicket keeper Ravin Saha, not easy, and he, oh yeah, a little second grab. The periscope that comes straight out of the sky without much perambulation is a hard one to take. A contender for the Vivo catch of the match.
Was a very, very difficult one. A long way up in the air, and the ball might have been wobbling. Slow delivery from Natarajan. It just sliced it. Pridhiman Saha, safe pair of hands, and that certainly makes it Vivo catch of the match on the second attempt. Party gone to 53, 146 for 2.
Good take by Ridham and Taha. They are difficult. Those come straight down at you. You've got to keep your eye on the ball and then steady yourself with a firm foundation, and he did very well. Important wicket. It is Andre Russell that's come to the crease. He won't be on strike though. The batsman crossed. There it is, the MA Chidambaram Stadium, seen at so many great occasions in the IPL over the years. Scene of many a Matthew Hayden innings. Well, that will bring Andre Russell onto strike. Huge man, wonderfully natural cricketer with bat and ball. Another look at this, Lisa.
Yeah, you can understand why he wanted to try and find the boundary, take that extra risk. Just got it on the toe end of the bat and just went straight up. Never easy catches these coming out of the night sky.
Especially taking a look at the flags just behind. It's a nice little breeze coming in from the Marina Beach.
One of the great beaches, isn't it?
Lovely. I mean, if you go beyond that, that's where the Mumbai Indians is staying. It's fine, it's 4. Easy put away that. The Mumbai Indians stay in a beach resort, which is magnificent. That boundary also brings up to 150.
There's a lot been discussed about Andre Russell. 2019, he absolutely lit up the IPL stage. Over 500 runs, 510, and strike rate over 200. The next year, which was the last edition, only scored 117 at a strike rate of 144. He is an X factor.
Well, David Warner knows full well the next 4 overs and 1 ball are potentially match deciding. If this guy gets it right, alongside the obviously informed Nitish Rana, they could take the game away from Sunrisers. To get him early, squeeze things a little at the end there, restrict them to something like, I don't know, 175, 180. Wow. And they're in the game. Just a single, which means that the strike will be retained by Andre Russell. It's 1-5, 2 for 2.
Brings us to the end of 16 overs, riders. 150.
সব শেষ করে ফেলবে তো?
তুমি তো নিয়েছই।
দাও দাও বলছি। কারাকারি স্বাদের রুচি আলু বোখারা আচার অসাধারণ।
Rashid Khan, just that one over. Everyone missed it. Riddhiman Saha, brain behind the stumps, generally. Called a wide. First extras.
Yeah, there's been runs coming from absolutely everywhere, but no extras. Missed everything. It was a big expectation because it started straight and then went further down the leg side. At a time when they don't need any extra runs. Sunrisers Hyderabad, that won't help the cause.
Oh, Peel! It's definitely a googly which he didn't read at all. You talk about matchups, this is the perfect matchup. Perfect time to have Rashid Khan against possibly one of the most destructive batsmen in T20 cricket.
We all felt the vibe, didn't we? This was the time for Rashid Khan to come back into the attack.
But that's gone. Manish Pandey is sensational in the field. Couldn't get hold of it, didn't get the elevation, the big man. And it's worked perfectly for Sunrisers Hyderabad. It's that man again, Rashid Khan.
Vivo, perfect catch of the match on a silver salver for Manish Pandey. Did make it look very easy. Wonderful pair of hands and kept his eye on it the whole way because it was dipping. Hit it pretty well. Just there. What a great catch. Really sharp. Oh, brilliant. They loved it too. See you later, Dre. Just for 5. 157 for 3.
He's batted so well, Nitish Rana. He's taking him on, and that's the right way to go about it. 17th over. And once again, amongst all the runs being scored, look at Rashid Khan. 2 for 22 of 3.3, and that's a big wicket.
He's amazing, isn't he? The way that he can just come on and change a game. Consistently bamboozles, high quality batsman. Very fast arm action. Deceiving. His lengths as well. He's wrong and superb. He just doesn't get anything of it. And Danny, you said it. That was a very good catch. Made it look so easy.
He's called a dead ball. And lost the cap with the Mansaha. An early pick from umpire Ananta Padmanabhan.
Alias K&A.
His full name is Karumanaseri Narayana Iyer Ananta Padmanabhan.
Boy, but
doesn't give you anything. That's why he's so good. Knows exactly what the batsman's thinking. He's got all the skills. More than the skills, just the way he executes it.
Another very interesting little contest within the game here. Owen Morgan with Rashid Khan. This is a big moment. Imagine if he just struck down the skip and out at this stage.
He's got a slip. It's just the one delivery to negotiate for Owen Morgan. Yeah, off the mark. What a fine spell of bowling. 7 of that over, 159 for 3.
17 overs.
Incredible how
ওকলা স্পিড টেস্ট অ্যাওয়ার্ডের স্বীকৃতিতে বাংলা লিংক আবারও দেশের ফাস্টেস্ট মোবাইল নেটওয়ার্ক। বাংলা লিংকে এক্সপিরিয়েন্স করুন ফুল স্পিড 4G।
he gets 2 for 24. Superb craftsman of note.
It's a great point you make, Matthew. Last 4 years when he's been playing, every year he's got 16 to 20 wickets. And between over 7 and 15, he got 19 of them last year. So even though the batsmen aren't trying to attack him, he still manages to find ways to get batsmen out in this format.
I think he's staying in orange forever.
And Mohammad Nabi, an interesting choice. But he's somebody who has bowled difficult overs. Again, a crafty operator. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar has got 1, so Nabi will bowl the 18th. And also 2 left-handers on strike. Hey, what a fine innings from Rahul Tripathi.
Absolutely right. Cracking innings. All around the wicket. Pace and spin. It didn't matter this evening. He was all over it. Great placement. Really good power. And still work to do. 160, that's what RCB chased down effectively, or 159 to win the other night against Mumbai Indians. They've got more KKR tonight, but there's still work to do on this back end.
Yeah, mighty fine batsman to follow as well, DK and Shakib Al Hassan. That's gone straight up. Vijay Shankar underneath it, again a safe pair of hands. And a wonderful innings comes to an end. Nitish Rana, that was gutsy. Mid off up in the circle. But Mohammad Nabi gets the man.
Just continue to press team play. Wanted to go for another maximum for sure. Just got his foot a little bit too wide on that occasion. Towards the onside, and a good safe set of hands from Vijay Shankar. It brings to close a wonderful innings, potentially a match-winning innings. 80 off 56 balls, and it's 160 for 4.
In comes the next batsman for Kolkata Knight Riders, Dinesh Karthik.
That's gone, and that should be another one. Abdul Samad this time, just on the line. Are they turning it around? The Sunrisers Hyderabad and Mohammad Nabi, 2 wickets and 2 balls.
Oh yeah, we've got a hat-trick here. Well, we're on one anyway, says Mohammad Nabi. All of a sudden, SRH have turned this around, and you said it, Matty Hayden. Got a lot of work to do. With 2 new batters in, you've lost the skipper, but even another newer batter coming out now. Says it all there from Morgan. Goes quickly, cheaply for a brace. 160 for 5 here.
Morgan Kapaz at 2. Fantastic catch there. Abdul Samad. In comes the next batsman, Shakib Al Hassan.
Yeah, what a perfect time to get 2 wickets. 2 new batsmen, both of them haven't faced a delivery. He could be very good batsmen, but it's the pressure of losing wickets. Mohammad Nabi on a hat-trick.
It was rather a disappointing conclusion to that hat-trick. I thought there might have been something in it, but this started it. Fly ball, didn't go anywhere. And then this one, the captain tried to sweep across the line. 5 out of 7 times he's got him out. That's an amazing statistic right there from the England captain. Nabi's all over him like a cheap suit.
Shakib Al Hassan, he's off the mark straight away. Both batsmen striking at 100, 162 for 5.
What an event for over there for surprises right to pass. Just 3 runs of it, 2.
কি চোখের কি দায় ভিতরে অস্বস্তি নিন ইনো চটপট অ্যাকশন
Great start, wonderful start. Nitish Rana 80 of 56, what an innings. Tripathi lit it up, 53 of 29, but after that, Bray, Russ, Morgan, the perfect foundation set for these big hitters. And the Sunrisers bowlers, especially Rashid Khan and then Mohammad Nabi, have pegged it back. Last 3 overs, 4 wickets for the loss of just 17 runs, so that's just brilliant.
And just the last match here as well, remember Mumbai Indians did the same thing, had a really good start and then just fell off the wall.
Natarajan, in the end, you know what he does. He's brilliant in the death overs, bowls a lot of Yorkers. That's what he did in the last edition of the IPL.
Yeah, Mohammad Nabi. Again, it underlines the nature of this 22 yards, and when the ball gets softer and older, that much more tricky to deal with. Fuller one you're talking about, Cousins. It's a go-to delivery, whether it's a new ball or an old ball. You get a good Yorker in any day of the week, any time of the innings.
And on Morgan trying to target that short boundary. Fine catch by Abdul Samad. Had to be sure where the boundary line was. The leap at the right time. Held on to it.
Brisbane Lions. Are you Adams with the AFL or Aussie rules for the knock? Are you 13 or 15 man coach?
No, I'm 13 man for sure.
State of origin.
Yep, coming up. Kartik, what can he produce here?
Yeah, you could think of what Dinesh Karthik might try and do. There was a short fine leg, there was a square leg, deep mid-wicket and a long on. So just trying to take him on, trying to lap him. But Angaras Natarajan, what does he do? First 6, gets 16% of his wickets. The middle overs 16 and then in the end. That's where he's so handy.
That's okay. That is a dime a dozen. You can bowl those at any stage, but given the depth, and here is underlined at this graphic, look at that, nearly 70% of his wickets at the back end.
Now, what I love about this back-end performance as well from SRH is just how they're in the contest. Davey Warner's promoting the fact that they've got to stay in the game, compete hard. Just never give up. There's another good example of it. We heard the coach, as we interviewed him, say, well, he wasn't prepared to answer anything to do with the stats that we know, and that is that when you're chasing here, first innings total win is 164 as a winning first innings total. We saw the other night 160 get chased down, or 159 get chased down nicely from Royal Challengers Bangalore, so they've just got to hang in the contest.
Hit hard, hit straight. Dinesh Karthik does well.
He doesn't have the power, does he? Someone like Nitish Rana, that would have been up in the comms box, but still a really, really good use of good batting posture and shape. Doesn't fall out of it at all. Gets the maximum out of what is a slow wicket now. It's very hard to hit a straight shot like that for 6, so Dinesh Karthik, the experience coming now into 4. If he can just ink out even, say, 12 or 15 runs during this phase, he's done his side proud.
Also when somebody's trying to bowl into the hole as well. Yeah, this is good from Natarajan. Saw what he was trying to do and did the exact opposite. 171 for 5.
এই কি হচ্ছে সব এখানে
তাজা উপাদানের আসল স্বাদে স্কয়ারের রুচি সস সবই মজা লাগে যে।
Last over. No surprise that Bhuvaneshwar Kumar will bowl it. He's got 1 over up his sleeve. First 2 went for 10. The third over went for 19. He's such a brilliant performer. Dinesh Karthik not happy with what he had. Sometimes these batsmen don't like the wind in their hands, just like a man in the middle.
It does take a while, doesn't he, Dinesh Karthik, when he was the captain and the fielding, changing his fields, meticulously placing things. I'm just looking at my wristwatch and counting down. Time is of the essence.
It is indeed time in this IPL. We've got a new rule around that. Overs must be bowled inside 90 minutes. And I dare say that they're probably over here a couple of minutes at least. Big last 6 balls though. Lots riding on it. What's this end total going to be for Sunrisers tonight to chase down? It's been a strange narration, I feel, from the fast bowlers on tonight's occasion, who are very good typically.
What a shot! That's come right of the centre of their bat. And a good change at 1-2.
New ball, please. That has gone some distance. It's gone over. Advertising hoardings and replay screens. Oh, yeah.
It's the 3rd occasion that he's tried this as well, and he's finally got the ball that he's wanted. He couldn't get those off Natarajan, who followed him. But he just left it hanging out there, Bhuvanesh Kumar.
He'll attribute it to the change of the bat. He does. Top edge. Handy runs.
Now, I'll tell you what, that'll do. Very, very handy. 180, that's a formidable total. Very good bowling attack as well. Good balance in their side, KKR. These runs are all so handy.
Thinking, gents, night game clearly, and it's after 9 p.m. Not about dew fat or anything, but so we could just get it on. It was better than we thought it might. Just sliding on, just that bit better.
Oh, that's been slapped too. Should get a couple. And since you mentioned that, we saw him going down. He saw that sweep shot, and that's possibly the reason why he dug it in.
Look, I'm not sure we made enough of it in the last match, the first match of this season. I think the Jew was a bit of a player. The ball just sliding on it. Certainly, definitely didn't get the kind of access to the ball that we saw in the last innings. This is tonight. Sunrisers paces. Look at that stat there. 22% hitting the stumps only. Missing almost 80% of the time. Folks, that's width. And that's what's been pounced on tonight.
Oh, that's a tough call. That's a tough call because Dinesh Karthik was walking in, and sometimes the line does move with the batsman. Or should do.
Now it's a bit of width. Did he move across in time? That's what the bowler's saying. He said, hang on a minute. He started to slide across. Yeah, it's definitely going to go against the bowler, that one.
Fascinating the way that he does get across, because if you do follow him, he's got that good sweep paddle as well. It's been very effective over the years for Dinesh Karthik.
Can you get a couple very quick there, Rashid Khan?
Brilliant running. Very busy cricketer, Dinesh Karthik, and this is a good example of just how he uses his pace and a good turn. Very technically sound. Hits it straight into the gap. Look at this turn. Bang! A little bit of decision, but fantastic piece of partnership batting there from these two.
Already a very good over. 15 so far. Been slapped away. Just one there. You know he's trying to play the field. And Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, on the last two occasions, he saw him coming down, saw him sitting down, just changing that line.
Yeah, gutsy there. Bang it in against Carter. He wants pace on it. So he Yorker slightly wrong. Just saying, Hados, he just manipulates beautifully. And there, too, if you're not super quick, and he's good at that too, that horizontal stroke where he actually manipulates behind and uses pace.
Yeah, it's been a pretty average display of bowling here tonight, no question of it. It's what's led to KKR's highest total against Sunrisers Hyderabad. Last ball, 187. Big total. Great batting performance.
One-handed. Will that be taken? Again, a very fine catch. Abdul Samad, 2 today, and both of them have been mighty fine catches. So wicket to end the 20th over, and that wicket going to Bhuvaneshwar Kumar.
Well, Matty Hayden, you and I looking out the comm box window thinking, nah, that's safe. He's not going to get this. But deception too. Give Bhuvi some credit. Pace off. Abdul Samad. Oh, take it in his sleep. Stitch that together. Big fella. Oh, what a grab. What a good grab from Samad. Shakib has to go for 3. 188 the total again.
এগুলো কি? এটাও পচা, এটাও পচা। তোকে তো ঠকাই দিছে। নে।
কে যেন কয়দিন পর পর ঠকে?
আমি। অসম্ভব।
ইন্টারনেট কেনে কিন্তু বোনাস পায় না। ডাউনলোড মাইবিএল অ্যাপ। মুহূর্তেই আরো বেশি বোনাস।
মাইবিএল অ্যাপে ইন্টারনেট প্যাক কিনলেই মুহূর্তেই আরো বেশি বোনাস। বাংলা লিংক।
It took the Sunrisers bowlers on and they finished well. Bit of a starter between the 15th and the 19th over. What's it? It's ended well for them.
Nitish Rana, Rahul Tripathi, absolute standout. Brilliant partnership. Strokes all around the ground. Power, precision, and worth raising the bat there. It was a really good, well-made, constructed 50. Set a really good stage as well, didn't they? Fantastic. It's tough, very tough wicket conditions, and made the most of them.
Yeah, one of the key architects in today's total. Rahul Tripathi joins us. Rahul, really well batted. How's the surface?
The surface it was holding on a little bit. I think the spinners were bowling well. So I think the surface is a little tricky because odd ball is turning in sometimes and sometimes skidding also. So I think we've got a great total.
We were just talking before the game and you said that number 1 and number 4 have been brilliant positions, but at number 3 you batted brilliantly today.
Yeah, I think that was the role given to me today by the team to go out there and just express myself, and I'm happy that I could contribute to the team's success.
What would be your message to your bowlers when they come on to bowl?
I think good length areas like use the wicket a lot, some cutters, and I think we'll be able to defend it.
Just over here, we've been talking about the width offered to you batsmen from the Sunrisers bowlers. Would you say that was something which helped you guys as well?
Yes, I think if you get in the right areas, then it was difficult to score. But we were looking positive that whatever loose ball we get, we were looking to utilize it the most, and it happened today.
Do you feel that dew will play a part? Is there any dew out there?
I think it's our first game. Let's see. And but still, if the dew comes, I think we've got a great total on the board.
Thanks for your time. Have a great game.
Thank you. Thank you.
They batted really well in a refreshing way. No holds barred from Rahul Tripathi. 53 of 29, but it was set up by the man up top. Nitish Rana, 80 of 56. Gill couldn't get going, and then Russell and Morgan nipped in the bud. Karthik finishing well, 22 of 9, a brilliant cameo to take them to 187 for 6. 2 for 24, again the man from Afghanistan, Rashid Khan. Supported well by Mohammad Nabi, 2 wickets in his last over. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, expensive in the last 2 overs. Sandeep Sharma, not his day today. Natarajan, 1 for 37. And Vijay Shankar, just the solitary over, none for 14. So it's their first game. Sunrisers Hyderabad need a challenging total. 188 is what they have in front of them. That run rate, 9.40.
I'm really excited to play against them again.
That's a really good hit.
They got a good side, quite balanced.
Our attitude will remain our strength.
This will be his century. What a beautiful delivery.
Top order with the seam and getting into the spinners will be a big thing for us.
Nothing is impossible. Pretty confident that we're going to win.
There's another one.
I'm really excited to play against them again.
That's a really good hit.
They got a good side, quite balanced.
Our attitude will remain our strength.
This will be his century. What a beautiful delivery.
Top order with the seam and getting into the spinners will be a big thing for us.
Nothing is impossible. Pretty confident that we're going to win.
A warm welcome back to the MH Anandaram Stadium here in Chennai. Kolkata Knight Riders put in the bat by David Warner, finishing with 187 for 6. Dinesh Karthik unbeaten there with 22. Played really well, particularly in that last over against Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, who's so expert at bowling at the death. It was all set up by Nitish Rana with 80 from 56 balls. Just falling 7 short of his best score in IPL cricket, but he and Tripathi were very good together, played all around the wicket, a mixture of power and touch, and it was a delight to watch. So it's a very interesting run chase, this. I think if we're honest about that attack, they didn't go as straight as they might have done, particularly with the new ball. There was a bit of width on offer, and the batsman cashed in very freely, really. So that's going to be of concern, and if KKR bowl nice and tight early on, I'm sure Pat Cummins will for a start, it might be a lot harder to get off to that sort of a flyer. Anyway, let's have a look back over the innings. Danny Morrison and Lakshman Shivaramakrishnan are alongside me. There was some nice stroke play, wasn't there?
Great start to the tournament. First innings, Nitish Rana was down with illness. Shubman Gill played a couple of beautiful shots. The aggressor was Nitish Rana. Marvelous shot that Gill promised a lot before he was deceived by a slow googly from Rashid Khan. Tripathi announced his arrival with some big hits. This was given out and then referred. Ananta Padmanabhan, the umpire, getting a bit of edge onto the pad. Then reverse.
He held the bat up high, didn't he? You need to be careful when you do that, I think. Otherwise, the umpires get a bit offended and match referees take action anyway. Lovely innings and very quick to pick length. That's the key, isn't it? You kind of set up a few pre-meds in this format of the game, but also you've got to be quick to pick length. Nice crisp sound off Nitish Rana's bat today. Sometimes you can close your eyes and know that he's hit it well, and that was perhaps the best example of them all. Rahul Tripathi was really good with, I said there was a mixture of sort of touch, timing as well as power. And this was a nice take by Raman Sahar, the second attempt. Periscope's not always the easiest ones. Another good catch as well, tumbling away. Manish Pandey has beautiful hands. Thankfully, they're good for catching the ball. So too others amongst the SRH number. There's an important fight back at the end here from Sunrisers has kept them in the game. The wickets of Russell and Morgan and Nitish Rana were absolutely crucial, otherwise they'd have shot past the 200 mark. And I think that would have been too many. The surface has played better than we thought, we have to say that. I wouldn't say it's roared onto the bat, but it certainly hasn't been too uneven, and it certainly hasn't spun too much, and so it makes for a fascinating contest this evening, Danny.
Yeah, but I think you're right, Nicholas. This will be a tall order. Getting this for Sunrisers. given that runs on the board, and just wonder how it will play in the second innings later on tonight here.
Well, everybody joining us again from Star, and welcome. Harbhajan Singh is back. It's extraordinary to think that he hasn't played a professional game. It's the third time I've mentioned it tonight, but I'll mention it again since the 2019 final when he was playing for Chennai. That's 699 days. And look what Dre Russell's done to his hair. He's given it that bit of Knight Rider gold.
Yeah, it sort of looks like the colour of the pitch on one side, doesn't it? Once it's worn a little orange effect.
I thought it was just the colour of the helmet, no?
Dre Russell's?
Oh yeah, that gold, you know, that gold, purple and gold.
I'm thinking of Spandau Ballet.
Stop it, Danny, you don't talk about hair.
Can you sing that?
Gold!
Tony Hadley, wasn't it?
What an era was it? Those early 80s?
No, I didn't like it.
No, you loved it.
I'm not an 80s music man at all.
Listen, it can't
no
all be
way.
Bruce Springsteen.
Rubbish music, eh?
Springsteen?
He was at his best in the 70s and now. We'll move on from that, Luke. Anyway, I chatted with him before play, and he was really confident about his fitness and about being able to bowl at something like top pace. He's had a lot of issues with his knee, and so fingers crossed for him, because the best of him is a great sight in the game today.
Let's welcome the opening batsman of Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Saha. Did a good job coming into the side instead of Johnny Bairstow. They made a decision in the last third of their push for the playoffs in the UAE to leave Bairstow out of the side, bring Kane Williamson, he'd do it, and have Raymond Saha open the batting and keep wicket. And he played a couple of fabulous innings before he too got a niggling injury that kept him out. But they look a formidable pair. Bairstow's going to bat at 4 today. So the card says anyway. 188 then to win it. Overs. And who are we starting with? Harbhajan Singh will bowl with a new ball. Yeah, Warner. And Saha, 268 runs in 3 games. That's a tremendous effort. They didn't strike quite as well as Warner and Bairstow. They struck at 139, Warner and Saha at 125, but still a good effort. So Harbhajan is back. Nice to see him. Popular figure in the game. Not just in India, but worldwide. So mid-on's back and mid-wicket is back. Everybody else, of course, has to be up. Only 2 allowed outside the ring in this power play period of 6 overs. Fascinating. 5 saving a single in the covers. Can they get leg side of the ball and puncture that offside field? Do they work the gap on the leg side? What's the tactic? Do they sweep over square leg where there's nobody? At least they're the challenges for the red-handed Rabbithole Saha. Here we go.
Can bowl much slower than Nabi and Rashid Khan, Harbhajan Singh, so you can expect him to get a bit return.
Saha will regard that as a miss. Probably trying to hit the ball a little too high. Hardy didn't come on to him, so he got at it a bit early, but short and wide with that. Feel that. Just got to get used to the pace of the pitch. That's the thing, isn't it?
Great to see Harvey back. As you mentioned, was it 699 days?
Amazing, isn't it?
Oh. Was he now early? Was he 41? Chip?
I don't think so. It's a fairly young man. Came to the scene at the age of 18 or something. Should be in his...
He's nearer 41 than 40. 40 years and 282 days. Harbhajan Singh.
Chip, you should still be playing then.
I didn't think I was 55.
Would you play? If we asked you to bowl, how would you go? If you were asked in the nets to bowl at Sachin again, like you did in the glory days, how would you bowl?
Well, I could go in the nets, but match is a different situation altogether. But I can't field. That'd be a big liability of the field. You can't hide me anywhere.
Here we go, Harbhajan to David Warner. Oh, India-Australia rivalry! Oh, he dropped it! Oh, my goodness. Paddy Cummins, I think a little slow to react, and Cummins threw himself forward as a last-ditch effort and just had too much to do.
Look at the trajectory, Danny. Ball dipping on Davey Warner. Ended up slicing at it. Oh, Pat Cummins, he should have taken that. Super delivery, but not lucky.
Oh, that was a bad miss. He'd catch that, I reckon, 19 out of 20 or more, maybe. And it's David Warner, first up, first ball. Warner dropped.
Yeah, talk about big moments in a contest. Given also, yeah, it's the skipper. Oh.
That is gorgeous. My word. What?
It's an Academy cracking 6 to end the over, 8 for none.
এগুলো কি? এটাও পচা, এটাও পচা। তোকে তো ঠকাই দিছে, নে।
কে যেন কয়দিন পর পর ঠকে?
আমি। অসম্ভব।
ইন্টারনেট কেনে কিন্তু বোনাস পায় না। ডাউনলোড মাইবিএল অ্যাপ, মুহূর্তেই আরো বেশি বোনাস।
মাইবিএল অ্যাপে ইন্টারনেট প্যাক কিনলেই মুহূর্তেই আরো বেশি বোনাস। বাংলা লিংক।
Please, we have just seen a fabulous shot. To do that first up and just ease it over extra cover like that. I know it's the shorter side and all that, but hitting against the spin, beautiful batting from Saha there, really lovely timing, rid of Saha is I feel he's such a natural cricketer. Looks it with the gloves on, looks it with the bat in hand. The target 188 this evening. It's not Pat Cummins, it's Rashid Krishna who's going to start off here with David Warner.
Good debut in the one-day internationals for Rashid Krishna. Picked up. Four wickets.
Yeah, very much so, actually. He bowled very smart. There's that shot I'm talking about. It's just... fabulous. I remember a day when, if the best players in the world hit it over extra cover, they were much applauded for it. Now there's so many in the game who can do it and do it so freely. By the way, about that running from David Warner, the two he just picked up. He ran the second, well, he ran them both at pace, and it doesn't look to me like there's any after effects of his injury. Here's the drop.
Beautifully bowled, wasn't it?
Waiting for 699 days for that wicket, Danny.
You're all over, aren't you? You said it. It's beautiful deception with that dip and the slowness through the air from Abhijan. But yeah, Paddy should have swallowed that, Chief.
Oh, yes, that does the job. A beauty.
Oh, we love a pacer. Getting it right in the groove. Yeah, really, really good delivery. Warner may be furious with himself. He's got a life done the last over already. So he's at 2 digs. The 3 runs. Oh, it's a beauty. That's that area. That's how he gets out a lot, to be fair, in any form of the game. That line against a right armour, and he tries to go a little bit across the line with a little bunt on the onside, exposes the edge. Skipper's gone for 3, and Sunrisers lose their first one at 10.
Manish Pandey, who played some terrific innings in the Middle East, particularly as he got into his work. He didn't necessarily nail it when he started, but he played very freely by the end of the tournament. Good all-round cricketer, good fielder, and an enjoyable player to watch, but it's quite a blow to Sunrisers to nail Warner early. And it's a tremendous boost for the bowling side. And you're quite right, Prasidh Krishna has impressed already for India, hasn't he, Shiva? He's got the temperament, never mind the talent.
Got to bowl for wickets. He's got a high arm action. He's a tall man, will get the extra bit of bounce. And a perfect delivery. The error that David Warner made was looking to work it leg side. Carried nicely to Dinesh Karthik.
Yeah, well, Danny mentioned the line. I mean, it looks quite ugly, really, for a player of Warner's class. Very good stuff, Prasidh here, bowling with a bit of zip about him. We've got it up above the 140 mark already. Lots of good players to come here, but remember, 188 to get. Quite a cool graphic, isn't it? They're sort of floating above the occasion.
Star Wars.
Seducing us. Yeah. Star Wars. Do you know when the first Star Wars filmed? 77. 76 was a long time ago. That's an excellent start. What a fine over from Prasidh Krishna. It's 10 for 1.
2 overs at Sunrisers Hyderabad, 10 for 1.
কি চোখের কি দায় ভিতরে অস্বস্তি নিন ইনো ঝটপট অ্যাকশন
Already a change then. Saqib Al Hassan. Nice to see him back actually in the IPL. He's a much admired cricketer. Been just the stronghold of Bangladesh cricket for so long. Left arm spin. So off spin replaced by orthodox left arm spin from. Oh, he got him straight away. What a start this is for KKR.
Well, he's not a big turner of the ball, but he does bowl stump to stump and a fairly decent line and length. That's why he was preferred ahead of Sunil Narayan. And Saqib, what a start to the tournament. Good seam position. Doesn't turn a lot. Reddiman Saha looking for the fancy shot, which was too close to the body. And they are delighted. They picked up wicket number 2. Saha gone for 7. It's 10 for 2.
Well, a lot on the shoulders of Johnny Bairstow. He's in good form. We've spoken about his one-day white ball matches anyway for England against India. Boy, he's got to play a fine hand tonight. You feel he's got to be at his very best, and it's not natural for Bairstow to start against spin. He likes the ball. Point of having such control to give those 4 away. That was much better, but not relevant because Pandey had comfortably made his ground.
Both Prasidh Krishna and Manish Pandey play for Karnataka. Know each other really well. Good runner between the stumps. Then to come. To Samad with Jayashankar. Jayashankar needs to make a statement in this IPL. Mohammad Nabi can strike it a long, long way.
Whoa, wild. Feeling a bit of the pressure, I think. Yeah, 4 gone, 20 for 2.
এই কি হচ্ছে সব এখানে
তাজা উপাদানের আসল স্বাদে স্কোয়ারের রুচি সস সবই মজা লাগে যে।
KKR have done everything right so far. Sunrisers Hyderabad reeling 20 for 2, chasing a big target. Spinners have bowled well. Shakib Al Hasan. He's such a brilliant operator. Any format, you can expect him to come and contribute, and that's exactly what he has done. Now to Hayden and Lisa Stalekar alongside. And that is brilliant. Inside out and an unacademy cracking 6.
Wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. Admired by VVS Axman there, who was one of the finest players of this shot, an in-to-out shot. Lovely timing. Just gets a little full and a little wide as well. Gives himself a little bit of room. 79 metres up into the wind. Lovely stroke.
Cut away. Johnny Bairstow was brilliant in the white ball format just recently against India. Had a torrid time in the Test series, but what about that, Lisa?
Yeah, just a quality shot. He was player of the series against India, and he's bringing that form into the IPL, batting in a different position to what he was last year. Missed out last few games as well, so he wants to get back in the 11 and make sure he's selected again for the next one.
Yeah, another dot ball, and that's why he's so good, and definitely a contender for the upstock's most valuable asset of the match.
Is he now? Been a different start, isn't it?
Down the track. He's picked his spot well, and he's played it well.
It's almost like it's 2 different wickets. Sunrisers Hyderabad have found it really hard to get cracking. Been a lot of off-pace deliveries. Spinners come straight on with Harbhajan Singh opening the bowling today. Been tough work. Some great foot movement though towards the ball.
Yeah, hustling. He will only get 1. It's a good over. 12 for Sunrisers Hyderabad, 32 for 2.
কি অবস্থা আসাদ ভাই?
এই আর কি, কাস্টমার কম আপা।
কাস্টমার কম? দেখি কি করা যায়।
অর্ডার আসবে তো?
ফুল স্পিডে।
ওকলা স্পিড টেস্টে আবারও বাংলা লিংক দেশের ফাস্টেস্ট মোবাইল নেটওয়ার্ক। ফুল স্পিড 4G তে
সব বেশি ফুল স্পিডে।
Prasidh Krishna bowled a couple of good overs, 1 for 11. Harbhajan Singh, 1 for 8. We're always on the lookout for some dew. Definitely some sparkles there.
Coming into ball the next over, Pat Cummins.
Pat Cummins will bowl the last over of the power play.
It's got to go. Doesn't gather it cleanly, the big Dre. It's a long way down there for the tall timber. Would have had to been very close. A good clean gather here. And Manish Pandey would have been struggling for sure. Straight, good delivery, stump to stump. Been crashing in the middle stump. Good clean gather here. And I think he would have had him, Lise.
He tried to go with the 2 hands gather. You normally see players just go with the 1.
look at Johnny Bairstow versus Pat Cummins. The Upstocks Crick Index, as it's called, 19 balls, just 12 deliveries, and Pat Cummins definitely has got the bragging rights. I mentioned the big timber haters, but Big Dre, imagine an arm wrestling fight between him and you.
Yeah, I'd lose. I'd give it my all though, Karthik, that's for sure, but I'm certain that the size of his biceps are enormous, and of course he loves them, doesn't he? He loves the flex. Big Dre, every summer that he comes towards the IPL, he talks about his fitness as if it's a key asset. But he has to bring all of that this year because 20 wasn't terrific.
Don't shortchange yourself, haters. Look at your size. You're built like a tank as well. Look at me and Lisa, diminutive in size. Look at yourself. You can definitely give him a run for the money.
No, look at him. He's a monster. The size of those arms, tats everywhere. They've got the coloured hair, the golden boy. It's got me in that department as well, I'm afraid. Mind you, I'm a Pat Malone here. I've got a lot of horseshoe haircuts and otherwise nude nuts.
I would call it the sunroof.
Lisa's got a good full crop. Lots of dew. We knew it was going to be a factor. I thought it was actually in the first game. We've got 18 games at this venue. This is the second of those, and the first one, in my opinion, I think did have some factor involved. It wasn't pointed out at all from Royal Challengers Bangalore because it was a significant run chase.
Yeah, that's a very fine over. Always a tough over, the sixth over, just 3 of it, 35 for 2.
Brings us to the end of 6 overs. Sunrisers had about 35.
কি চোখের কি দায় ভিতরে অস্বস্তি নেন ইনো ঝটপট অ্যাকশন
KKR were off to a rollicking start in that power play. 50, hadn't lost a wicket. 187 for 6, that's a big target. And you need a good start, which Sunrisers Hyderabad haven't got. 2 for 10 they were. Both the openers gone, and sometimes one might be wondering, just like we talk about a Virat Kohli and an AB de Villiers batting together, Johnny Bairstow and David Warner were so good together, why try and take them apart? But Shakib Al Hasan, 1 for 13. And just that arm action is so quick, Lisa, but the ball doesn't come out the way you expect it to.
Yeah, he's just such a great asset, and obviously the IPL missed him last year and was part of the Sunrisers Hyderabad previously as well. So he has been that type of player that teams have wanted to have because he's versatile from a bowling and batting perspective.
And he doesn't turn the ball a great deal, so it's always just going basically straight into the stumps as well, so you don't get a lot of angles. You play across the line of the ball. So here's the first wicket, Davey Warner. Really fast delivery, got caught on the crease, and the second, cannoning into off stump.
Oh, down the ground, has got enough of it, Manish Pandey. This is good from him.
Oh, isn't it what? Really terrific shot this. Strong play, he's now got cap on, he's looking to get into his work. 19 off 15 balls, just slightly slides across it, but he stays on the ball.
I think it's a credit to Manish Pandey as well, because you talk about COVID-19 and the pandemic and bigger squads that have travelled. He's actually only played 3 games since the last edition of the IPL in 5 months. So to be able to train and ensure that you're ready to go first match is a credit to him.
Yeah, it's a valid point, Lisa, and also that's one of the reasons all the eyes will be on Harbhajan Singh. Nearly 2 years you haven't played competitive cricket, and the way he bowled that first over, that was good. Yes, he was hit for a 6 of the last ball, but all those deliveries were coming up nicely.
What do they say? Class is permanent? 45 for 2.
ফাটাফাটি সেরা উপাদানের পারফেক্ট ব্লেন্ডে রাঁধুনি চটপটি মশলাতে এমনই স্বাদ। চটপটি ছাড়া
কিছুই
রাঁধুনি রেডিমিক্স চটপটি মশলা।
So nice as Hyderabad just starting to rebuild after losing those first 2 wickets.
Andre Russell has been brought into the attack. He did mention that he wants to bowl quick. Very strongly built economy rate, touch on the higher side.
I remember last year everyone was holding their breath every time he came in to bowl because he's always getting slightly injured.
Top edge. And these are always handy runs in T20 cricket.
Well, you talk about a heavy ball. That one was only 133 kilometres an hour, but it absolutely hurried Johnny Bairstow up. He was not in position. And that's why a top edge, and it flew away. This shows you the power that Dre Russ has.
Again on the shorter side. And we've always asked you to ask all the experts. The Unacademy asked the experts. Send your favorite questions at Unacademy and hashtag Let's Crack It. And will be answered by all our wonderful experts in the com box. And we've got the soothsayer sitting next to us, and she had predicted it. Lots of sixes down that side, and take one more.
Well, it was almost going to be strike 3, wasn't it? Dre Russ just delivering the same length, same pace. But someone of this class, Johnny Bairstow, is able to adapt and gets it smack out of the middle.
Yep, smashed it, didn't he? As you say, Lise, he had lined that up 3 times. There was no way he was going to let the third one go. So strong. In such good form as well. That's exactly the sort of ball that you want when you're in terrific nick.
50 up for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Unacademy, ask the experts. As I mentioned earlier, you can send your favorite cricketing questions at Unacademy, and today's question is: how impactful has IPL been in boosting India's bench strength? Again smack, again down the same direction, but along the ground. Johnny Bairstow having a field day.
He's just got to hang strong, hasn't he, Bairstow? He's got to trust his skills and instincts, trust his own form as well, which has been terrific. He averaged 73 in the one-day series against India, and he's using all of that tonight. It's a genuine half-tracker again with not much pace. An off-pace ball, 118 clicks, and he smashes it away.
Oh, lost a shape there. The intention was to go over mid-off in extra cover. 15 runs of that over, 60 for 2.
15 runs of that over from Andre Russell. 8 overs of Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Ookla Speed Test Award এর স্বীকৃতিতে বাংলা লিংক আবারও দেশের ফাস্টেস্ট মোবাইল নেটওয়ার্ক। বাংলা লিংকে এক্সপিরিয়েন্স করুন ফুল স্পিড 4G।
Third over. Bairstow more aggressor as well. 2 4s, 2 6s, striking at 142.